I'm Helga from Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking. Today is going to be, it might be a controversial dish. I'm sure that my viewers are going to weigh in on this one. And the reason I say that is because, this area between the different ethnic communities call similar dishes that overlapped by different names. This is going to be one of those dishes. So what it is it's basically a baked potato pudding casserole. All right, so it's delicious. Mike's grandma, his Grammy, and my friends from Shamokin and Gerardville area all call it babka. But babka's traditionally bread, okay? But you call it potato babka. That's what we've all called it all these years. But further down towards Tower City, where my friend Lori is, who has a coal cracker in the kitchen, they call it Kugelis. So, and that's Lithuanian. Now, the irony of this is that my friends in Gerardville that call it babka are Lithuanian, but they don't call it Kugelis. So, and if you look it up, it probably correctly is Kubli, but, this side of the mountain calls it potato babka. So that's what I'm making today. I'm going to link to Lori's blog, A Coal Cracker in the Kitchen, because she has a lot of tremendous recipes. Some of them are similar to mine. Some of them are a little bit different. I'm in between coal cracker and PA Dutch, where she was pretty much all coal cracker. So that she has a little bit more of that influence. Mike's family's got, Slavic behind them. There's Polish, Lithuanian, Ukrainian, and all of that's around here. And like I said, each one has their own name for the same similar dish. It gets confusing, like halupki, galumpki, you get the idea. Anyhow, all of that for this one dish. And Lori, another reason I'm going to link to her, I'm not using her recipe, I'm actually using Mike's Grammy's recipe, but which is similar. They're all pretty similar. And I am going to link back to her. But she has tremendous history on the Lithuanian immigration to this country and the influence of their cooking. And of course, it's really felt through this area. I mean, it's very strong. And the food is fabulous. But, there's a lot of really good info there, a lot of wonderful history, good PA coal region history. So I'm going to encourage you to go read it and really learn about the history of some of these dishes, because she really shared some great information. So, babka, kubli, whatever you want to call it, it's good. We're going to make it, and I'm going to show you how. This is a simple dish. Really good quality bacon, like 4 slices, 3 eggs, 1 cup of milk, a stick of butter, 2 large onions or several small ones, and 5 to 7 large potatoes. That's all that goes into it. Now we're going to do the prep. Roll that beautiful bacon footage. So the next step, I removed the bacon. Just left half of it. I'm going to keep this much out for basically garnish. Put the rest in here. I'm going to take the stick of butter and I'm going to melt that in here. And then I'm going to add my finely chopped onions. Now, you can grate the onion along with the potato. We're going to grate this potato down. I'm doing it twice because you really want it to be, like a batter. And you can do it that way and add the onions in with that, but I do them in the butter, in the bacon fat, and get them nice and caramelized, because you get a lot of extra flavor out of your onions for this dish. And if you don't use the bacon, and you don't use the butter, and you don't use the onions, it's very bland. But if you use those things, it's wonderful. So I'm just going to, like I said, get this melted down. Like I said, I'm linking back to Lori Fogg's Coal Cracker in the Kitchen. Lori grew up in the Scoop down in Tower City. She lives out by Pittsburgh now and is getting used to the food out there because it's the same, but it's not. There's a lot of differences between the eastern half of PA and the western half of PA and some of their food. So she's been having fun with that. But in her reader blog, she has so much history and really good information to share. Oh my Lord, you ought to smell this. That's just a little bit of heaven. Get all my onions in here. Like I said, you can grate these up with the potatoes, but you don't get that caramelized onion. And that's just so good. At least I think it is. And I'm just going to saute this down a little bit and we'll be back. So these are nice and translucent. And I'm going to take this mixture now and I'm going to remove it to a bowl because we want the pan empty when we go to put in our full mixture. The next thing I'm going to do after I set my bacon fat, butter, onions, and bacon aside is I'm going to take the milk and I'm going to warm it. Not boil it, I'm just going to warm it and set it aside so it is more temperate when we add the eggs. You don't want stuff curdling and cooking. So the next thing is I'm going to take my potatoes after I've peeled them and kept them cool. Make sure you dry them as much as possible before processing them because we want to get as much water out of the potatoes before we do this and they starch out as possible. So I'm going to do this so that they're really fine. If you have a box grater, you want to grate them until they're really fine, like you're ricing them. So I have that done, and the consistency, you know, it should be like applesauce. So that's kind of what you got here. Get it all out good. But the next thing we're going to do is slowly add in all the bacon and grease and butter and onions. And I don't add any salt to this because you know your bacon has enough salt. So I'm going to stir that in. Then I'm going to take my eggs and I'm just going to break them in here, mix them up. I'm going to add my beaten eggs in. Okay, that's incorporated. And I'm going to add my cup of warm milk. So, you know, in a way, it almost reminds you of almost like a potato custard. The eggs and the milk. You can see why they would call it a pudding. Make sure it's incorporated good because you want the fats all incorporated good throughout all of it. I'm going to add some pepper. You can season it how you like. And then we're going to pour this back into the cast iron skillet. And baker, we're going to bake it at 375 for half an hour. And then we're going to reduce the heat to 350 for roughly an hour. I'm going to put her in the oven and there you go. we'll see it when it comes out. And she's done. All I did was test it. You can test it with the knife or a toothpick till it comes out clean so that you know that it's done, which I did. And I'm just going to garnish it with a little bit of bacon because everything's better with bacon. And there. So I'm going to let this cool a minute and then we're going to do the ultimate taste test. You know what comes next. So, you know what comes next. It's out of the oven. Get some light here. There we go. You can see what it looks like. And it's soft, but cooked through. Like I said, I did the toothpick knife test, so it came through. Let it cool a little bit because it's hot. Doing it in the cast iron, it gets that nice crust on it, that nice browning, which you want that. It's still hot. You can see the steam coming off it. Oh man. It's like having potato cakes, only more. You can taste the onions and the bacon, and oh man, that's good. Yummy. Not an expensive dish either, but do use good quality bacon. Like I said, whether you call this potato babka, kubli, whatever you call it, from whatever strain, I'm sure you guys are going to weigh in. Be nice, because I truly don't know why our side of the mountain over here calls it this and they call it that. I don't know. But I was kind of like, hey, wait, those are the same thing. So, you know, tell me what your family does, how they make it, how they say it. You know, it's just one of those regional, coal region things. So, there you go. Give it a shot. It's always a real crowd pleaser in the wintertime. I mean, it's nice and hearty. It's really good though. So, give it a shot.